welcome back to another new teacher vlog. My name is Bailey. I am a 4th grade teacher, and today we're starting off another new vlog. It's Wednesday and I just got to school. Starting off today with some good news and then news. My district is heavy into a resource study for some new literacy curriculum, which is great news. We're definitely ready for something new, but today I do have to be out for a meeting this morning. I do have it all ready to go, and then it's only the morning, so I'll be back this afternoon. I'm leaving, as always, my sub binder and then all my lesson plans. I do also have one of our building subs in my classroom. She's been able to sub for me every time I've been gone this year, so she knows the drill. First thing we're going to do is some math. I left her the print original, and then I also left her the answer key. I left some student book pages for them, and then the answer key for her, just in case she needed them to support with anything. Writing today, they're going to do an activity that they did yesterday. We're starting off our informational unit, so we're doing a notice and name. The first day, we completed this together, so we looked at a National Geographic and the Who Was book that we're reading for Read Aloud, named a few things, and then explained how that helps the reader. Then yesterday, with their writing partner, they got together and got a random National Geographic. They did the notice and name worksheet with them, and we shared a few as a class. Today they're doing the same thing with a Who Was book. Then reading, I left the same lesson that I did yesterday. I left them with my example again too, just in case. They're going to do some 99 math and then they're going to go off to co-curricular. I will be back by the time they're done with that. So that's it for this morning, everything I'm leaving. I do have to update my whiteboard this morning. I didn't do that before I left yesterday, so that's first on the schedule. And then since I'm done with this, I might have some time for grading. I would love it if I do have time for that. I have been working really hard at getting some science assessments graded, and it's been a bit of a process, but I can talk about that later. First whiteboard, then grading if I have time. I'll be off to my meeting for the morning, and I'll see you at my lunchtime. I'm back and it's lunchtime now. We actually got back in time to have our plan time, which was really nice. During my plan time, I was just looking ahead to next week, thinking about my lesson plans. I don't know if I've talked about this much, but we got the new edition of our math curriculum, and as I've been kind of going through it, I've noticed just a lot of little changes here and there, so there aren't any drastic changes. It's like I'm back in the first year teacher. Every lesson I'm looking at with fresh eyes again. So when I sit down to plan my math, I really have to look at everything that I'm doing, see what I need to prep, what we're going to be doing, all of that. I started doing that during my plan time today, but it is my lunch now. This afternoon, we are just wrapping up our mystery. We're learning about our eyes, more specifically what is going on if somebody has blurry vision or if they're blind, the different things that are happening in their eye to make it that way. So we did an activity yesterday where we created a little model of the eye. Our next mystery is about, more specifically, animals' eyes, and this goes into our activity that we have coming up very soon. We will be dissecting, I'm pretty sure it's sheep eyes. It's a really great connection and opportunity for our scientists, but it's just a very interesting day. It's done through a museum near us, and they have people that come in and do the whole thing with us, but each kid gets an eye and they dissect the different parts of it, which we learn about in our 2 mysteries. So it really is a good experience and a good opportunity for them, and a lot of my scientists from last year, of course, still come back and talk to me about it, and a lot of my kids this year are looking forward to it and kind of understanding that that's coming soon. But it's definitely an interesting day. I'm thinking this group may have a few more observers than my group from last year. We'll see, that's still a little bit away, but that is coming up. And of course, as we're doing our learning about our eye, I'm starting to think about that. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about as far as science is concerned is that we had, I'm not sure if this is every grade level, but at least the 4th grade mystery science assessments have all changed this year. Over the summer, I had spent quite a bit of time making different rubrics based on the assessments that mystery science provides, connecting them to our essential learnings and making a rubric to help communicate how each student is doing. I am happy with the changes for the assessments, but I am wishing I didn't spend that time over the summer trying to get it all put together. Here's an example of the rubric that I'm grading right now. The assessment comes from mystery science, but our district uses 3 essential learnings, 3 specific things that we grade each scientist on. The first is if they understand the key concepts. For every mystery that I assess on, I go through and I list all of the key concepts that students should be able to show their understanding of on the test. That way when I'm grading 75 tests, it's easy for me to check off the things as I'm looking through it, and then it's clear the things that they did not either understand or show when I don't check them off on the checklist. And if they have all those things on the checklist, then I'm able to give them a secure and that essential learning. The second is just participation. If they're engaging in our discussions and our investigations, that sometimes I'll make notes throughout the mystery, but most of the time, luckily in science, we don't have a lot of students that are not interested and engaged in what we're doing. Then the last one is if they're supporting their claims with relevant evidence. This one I'm looking at their written response questions, and I do include different key concepts that they should have in their written responses down here. So if I don't check them off, then that's another one where I can show they forgot this or didn't include that, which would have been relevant when explaining their thinking. So I'm able to go through and based on this and looking at their test, quickly give a B, D, or S for all of these different categories. Last year, I will say that I did have them take more assessments than I have so far this year. I think that taking these assessments also requires a lot of explanation and help. They're more M-step questions, so teaching them how to take tests this way, something new, and handing it to them and having them fill it out doesn't necessarily just show whether they understood the different things that we were doing in the mysteries. So I just kind of look over the assessment before and decide if it's something that they are ready for, if we can do a little teaching on and then they'll be ready for, or if it's something that we are going to skip for now, just because as with anything, we have to pick and choose the things that we're going to spend our time on. Time is limited, but I was just going through and grading 2 different mysteries for all 75 of them. I finished the one, I also finished grading this one, but now I need to transfer all the different grades from the rubrics into my grade book. That way I have a record of how they did throughout the different units, and when it comes to a report card time, I have a lot of data to look at before I put it in for their report card. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, putting a little bit more time and energy into reviewing the different assessments in science. They aren't just things that I've done for years and can pull out and be ready for. Same thing with math. I really have to look through things before I'm teaching it and doing it as I'm planning it. And overall, I'm very happy with all the changes so far. Just something new, and it's taking a little bit longer for me to do my planning because this is the first time that I'm doing it. But I'm gonna go right now. I want to make sure that I get that done, and then I can give them to my team teachers to send home as they see fit. Mine will go in my leadership binders because they are assessments. So I've slowly started to stack up some different things to go in their binders again. I'm probably gonna send them home a little bit quicker this time because their writing is about to be done. We have a lot of science that's already started stacking up. Math, we're nearing the end of this unit, so I want to make sure that I'm constantly sending things home and keeping everybody in the loop of how everything is going at school. My meeting did go well this morning, and then I came back to a great report. I was able to actually talk with my sub for a couple minutes. Sounds like everything went really well here. Saw my kids for a couple minutes before they went off to recess and lunch, and then I'll see them again this afternoon for some science. I'm gonna go get some work done, and I'll check in with you later. Happy Friday. I just got to school and feeling extra thankful that it's Friday today because I'm exhausted. I do have a lot to do this morning though. I still have to finish up some planning. I did all my science grading yesterday, which feels great to have off my plate, but I do need to sit down and really plan for next week. I have all my stuff here, so I'm going to start that in just a second. But I also decided that I wanted to do new classroom leader positions. I'm going to have my students fill out an application this morning so we can swap some jobs up. It's definitely time. This will be the first switch that we've had this year. They've had the same leadership positions the whole year so far. It's time to switch those up. I'm going to do that this morning. I also need to make copies of homework and then print anything that I'm going to be needing next week. I'm going to go through and look at all this stuff, plan, make copies, sort it all into my drawers back there. That way I'm fully ready for next week. Here we go. My kids are in Spanish, and I just finished up grading some homework that they turned in, and I'm going to put some little stickers on there. I still have these stickers from Sticker You that I put my little Bitmoji on. I always use those for grading their homework. I'm going to pop these onto all of their homeworks right now. I started working on my e-blast a little bit, but I still have some work to do. I don't even think I have any pictures from this week, so I need to see if there's something maybe this afternoon I can take a picture of. Oh wait, no, I did do this activity. I did a informational text feature, I Spy, around the classroom. I've done this in the past too. So I had the little cards around the room, and they each got a sheet. They're supposed to find each one of these text features, write the letter next to the text feature name that they saw. So I showed them this example, but we did that earlier this week, and I remember taking a picture of a few of my readers as they were doing that. So I'll be able to insert that onto my e-blast. That's good because I can tell them that we're starting our informational reading and writing units. I also forgot I have to go around the room and take off all those little cards. I still have them placed all around the room. I did this year decide to laminate them. I've done this activity for 4 years now. I finally realized I should probably just laminate the cards, that way I can use them each year. I'll have to go grab them from around the room. During lunch today, I'm gonna have lunch with a friend, so I won't be able to chat then, but sometimes it's really nice to just kind of set work aside for a little bit and enjoy lunch, either in the lounge or with a friend. So I'm really looking forward to that, especially because I do feel like I am in a good place getting ready for next week. They filled out new leadership applications earlier. I'm hoping to get them set up with new jobs after school today. That way when they come in on Monday, they're ready to go. So that's what I'm going to be working on for the rest of my plan time. I'm going to grab all these cards, work on my e-blast, and then if I have time, sort them into their new jobs. And I'll see you later. It's after school now. I just very quickly swapped my classroom leaders based on their applications. I reset my whiteboard for Monday, and I also sent my e-blast, so that means my Friday checklist is done. It's time for me to go home and enjoy my weekend. I hope that you enjoyed coming along for a little bit of my week in 4th grade. I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.